Okay. Chapter 5. 5 Ages of Man. Some deny that Prometheus created men and that any man sprang from a serpent's teeth. They say that Earth bore them spontaneously as the best of her fruits, especially in the soil of Attica, and that Alcamenus was the first man to appear by Lake Copias in Boeotia before even the moon was. He acted as Zeus's counselor on the occasion of his quarrel with Hera and as tutor to Athene while she was still a girl. B. These men were the so-called golden race subjects of Cronos who lived without cares of labor, eating only acorns, wild fruit, and honey that dripped from the trees, drinking the milk of sheep and goats, never growing old, dancing and laughing much. Death to them was no more terrible than sleep. They are all gone now, but their spirits survive as genii of happy music retreats, givers of good fortune, and upholders of justice. C. Next came a silver race, eaters of bread, likewise divinely created. The men were utterly subject to their mothers and dared not disobey them, although they might live to be 100 years old. They were quarrelsome and ignorant, and never sacrificed to the gods, but at least did not make war on one another. Zeus destroyed them all. D. Next came a brazen race, who fell like fruits from the ash trees and were armed with brazen weapons. They ate flesh as well as bread and delighted in war, being insolent and pitiless men. Black death has seized them all. E. The fourth race of man was brazen too, but nobler and more generous, being begotten by the gods of mortal mothers. They fought gloriously in the siege of Thebes, the expedition of the Argonauts, and the Trojan War. These became heroes and dwell in the Elysian fields. F. The fifth race is the present race of iron, unworthy descendants of the fourth. They are degenerate, cruel, unjust, malicious, libidinous, unfilial, and treacherous. Footnotes. Though the myth of the Golden Age derives eventually from a tradition of tribal subservience to the bee-goddess, the savagery of her reign in pre-agricultural times has been forgotten by Hesiod's day, and all that remains was an idealistic conviction that men had once lived in harmony together, like bees. Hesiod was a small farmer, and the hard life he lived made him morose and pessimistic. The myth of the Silver Race also records matriarchal conditions, such as those surviving in classical times among the Picts, the Mycenaeans of the Black Sea, and some tribes in the Bellers, Galicia, and the Gulf of Sirte, under which men were still the despised sex, though agriculture had been introduced and wars were infrequent. Silver is the metal of the moon goddess. The third race were the earliest Hellenic invaders, Bronze Age herdsmen who adopted the ash tree cult of the goddess and her son Poseidon. The fourth race were the warrior kings of the Mycenaean age. The fifth were the Dorians of the 12th century BC who used iron weapons and destroyed the Mycenaean civilization. Alcamenus, guardian, is a fictitious character, a masculine form of Alcamenus, Athene's title, as the guardian of Boeotia. He serves the patriarchal dogma that no women, even a goddess, can be wise without male instruction, and that the moon goddess and the moon itself were late creations of Zeus.